Hey guys, Playtendo Guy here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the newest entry in everybody's favourite shooter franchise, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Enjoy! Never has such a big profile game received so much hate upon its announcement than Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. The announcement trailer is one of the most disliked videos on YouTube. Call of Duty has always attracted a fair bit of hate, but this one took the biscuit. The main reason why it's surrounded in so much hate it was because it took the franchise to space and it set far too much into the future it felt like a joke. I must admit I did give this game a fair bit of hate myself after some ippy trailers and the so-so multiplayer beta, but you know what? The game isn't all that bad and I'm going to tell you why. First off, let's talk about the campaign mode. You know the mode that most Call of Duty players don't take much notice of and just jump straight into the multiplayer instead? You'd be well worth trying this one out this year, as this is one of the most complete campaigns I've seen in a long while for this series. The story goes like this: Earth's resources are limited, so humanity goes to space and try and colonise with other worlds, but obviously things don't go as smoothly as that. There's a rogue group called SDF doing the rounds, doing some very evil things, so it's up to you and your team of mercenaries to stop them. It's a pretty decent tale and it does a pretty good job at providing an enjoyable sci-fi adventure. Shockingly, the characters in the game are actually not that bad. The character you play, Reyes, is actually a likeable lead, as is Salter, his right hand throughout the whole adventure. The game also has a fair few recognisable faces from the world of entertainment, like David Harewood from Homeland, who plays a very good ally in Omar, and Kit Harington from Game of Thrones, who plays the game's villain, Admiral Koch. But hands down, the best character has to be your robot companion Ethan, who's always providing you with a bit of comic relief in those intense firefights. Taken to space, the levels have seen a fair bit of change. Yes, there's still a fair bit of running through corridors of space stations and planets shooting various goons and the like, but thankfully there's a nice bit of variety in the levels as you'll be fighting enemies in zero gravity and engaging enemy ships in fun dogfights. Fighting and exploring the levels in zero gravity is a fun change for the Call of Duty franchise. If you played the much mangled 2013's Call of Duty Ghosts, then you'll be pleased to know it plays very similar to the space levels in Ghosts, which were arguably the best levels in the whole game. Zero Gravity isn't a one-trick pony, it appears many times in the campaign and it's nice to see it being put to good use. But the hands-down best inclusion to the campaign has to be the brilliant space battles. These take place in space and on various planets, and the main objective of these missions are just to shoot everything on the screen. These space battles feel very similar to the Star Fox franchise, and dare I say it, it's much better than the recent Star Fox Zero. It's certainly something I thought I wouldn't say, but it's that enjoyable. The game's main 7 missions will take you around the 6-hour mark, and while it's a little shorter than what I expected, there's quite a few side missions, so that'll add another 2-3 hours to the gameplay, and they are well worth giving it a go, as a fair amount of these levels are space battles. Overall, the campaign is a massive improvement over the rather confusing Black Ops 3 campaign. My only nitpick of the campaign is that there's any lack of sort of aliens whatsoever. It's a small nitpick, but it would have been nice all the same. Next up is the mode everybody plays Call of Duty for, the multiplayer, and this is where the disappointment starts to show. Not saying that the multiplayer is rubbish, but it feels so similar to last year's entry that there's nothing really much new to see here bar the maps, so you might as well just keep playing Black Ops 3. Saying that, there is enjoyment here to be had. There's the usual mix of modes like the old faithful team deathmatch and domination modes, fan favourite modes Uplink and Search and Rescue also return, which is great. There's also a new mode called Defender where you have to capture and keep a control of a drone. It's fun, but there's much better modes in the game to play. What disappoints me is that there's a lack of any online spaceship battles whatsoever, which is a huge shame. Their game could have done with the variety and I think it would have been really popular. Black Ops 3 Specialists return, but now they're called Combat Rigs, and they grant the player with special weapons and abilities when they've scored enough points. The single biggest fault with the multiplayer is not its lack of space battles or how overfamiliar it feels, but the inclusion of microtransactions. And you might say, but previous Call of Duties had them, and yes they did, but it was only for cosmetic use, so it didn't really matter. But Infinite Warfare has now microtransactions that can give you bigger and better weapons as well as cosmetic features. The cosmetic features doesn't bother me, but having to buy loot drops to get better weapons is splitting the community and dare I say it, making the game into a pay-to-win sort of game. While you can earn keys and loot drops as you regularly play through the game, the drops are random so you may get bugger all. Anyway, enough about the multiplayer, there's another mode to talk about, Zombies. Yes, the beloved Try Outside mode is included in this year's Operant, and it's the best yet. The whole setup for this zombie game is that there's 4 actors who want to star in the new horror movie by a director who's played by Paul Reubens of Pee Wee Herman's fame, and they're transported to a zombie theme park and they're forced to fight loads of zombies as 480 stereotypes: the nerd, jock, rapper and valley girl. It's quite funny and amusing, and also add in the fact that David Hasselhoff also appears in the game as a DJ who plays various licensed songs like Soft Cell's Tainted Love and Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Relax, and you've got a brilliant time. Zombies in Spaceland is a one-off. It's incredibly bizarre but highly enjoyable. There's plenty of Easter eggs and zombies to kill, but it's the same typical gameplay that you're familiar with. So if you're not a fan of zombies, this one won't win you over. Anyway, we've talked a fair bit about the game, so it's time to wrap up this review and give this game a score. I give Call of Duty Infinite Warfare an 8 out of 10 with the title of great. It's nice to be wrong once in a while, as Infinite Warfare is a pleasant surprise with a very strong campaign with some fantastic spaceship combat sections and plenty of memorable moments. Zombies in Spaceland is the best in the franchise with a hilarious and enjoyable trip to the 80s. It is a shame that the multiplayer is the weakest of the 3 modes on offer, as it's let down by being incredibly similar to Black Ops 3 multiplayer and the huge amount of microtransactions on offer. Infinite Warfare is well worth buying. I urge you to give the campaign a shot as it's incredibly fun. Thank you for watching my review. Like, rate and subscribe. Until next time, happy gaming. Bye.